people, and it's gone on far too long.
Hi, my name is Brenna Landis, and I'm a native Biloxian. Thanks to everyone for putting this event together tonight and for inviting me to speak. Thanks to the Poor People's Campaign of Mississippi for organizing this rally right here in my hometown of Biloxi. In this time of intensely emotional politics and division, I'm here to speak on why it is so important for people who look like me to vote. I am a single mother, a white woman, and a progressive. I come from a traditional conservative, that's my extended family. My dad is actually here tonight, Biloxi family. And while I had a lovely childhood, I was raised fairly ignorant of my own privilege and the way that systemic racism affected my own classmates. I attended Garnflow Elementary just up the road from here and grew up on Hayes Street just off Division Street. Even when taking a Mississippi history class was part of my curriculum in 8th grade at Biloxi Junior High, I do not remember learning about the Biloxi wait-ins, which happened right here in my hometown in the 1960s. I know that many people I'm friends with or I'm related to do not bring up politics or race because it makes them feel uncomfortable. I'm here today because I feel that we've reached a tipping point in our society, and I think it is beyond time that the people who continue to walk this path of chosen ignorance wake up. It's past time to have those uncomfortable conversations and speak up at the Thanksgiving table. Do it out of love. Vote out of love towards your fellow Mississippians. The recent comments by one of our elected officials for the state of Mississippi were not made out of love and speak to the willingness of white women especially to joke about and therefore ignore the deep emotional and physical trauma of racism in Mississippi, which still continues to this day. When you are a white woman in Mississippi, you are privy to some of the most racist inside conversations. It's past time we speak up in these situations and then make our collective voice heard by voting. One of my great-great-great-grandfathers was a general in the Confederate Army. I think it is important to acknowledge our history, but also to unequivocally and unapologetically refuse to accept the racist narrative of the grand old South. Mississippi is full of ingenuity and artistic spirit across the state. Let's move forward together along those lines and create together and lend a hand to each other. Not just a hand of sympathy, but a hand of empathy. It's not enough to volunteer at the soup kitchen and then go vote for the very system that continues to oppress. We must vote for a system that respects the dignity of all Mississippians, African Americans, Latinos, Native Americans, Asians, women, and the LGBTQ community members included. We should want to make this state great together, not continue to have a power system that oppresses many facets of our society. In order to do this, white women especially have a responsibility to teach other white women about the history that is all around them, which they may know nothing about or choose to ignore. This responsibility is why we must vote for politicians who are willing to push for racial reconciliation, for health care, including affordable child care services and pre-kindergarten education. As a mother, I want to make sure my daughter doesn't grow up ignorant to the history surrounding her in the Deep South. Part of that history and education is to fully fund public schools so that children can receive a quality education while being surrounded by other children from different socioeconomic backgrounds and cultures. Too often, we have de facto segregation in the South, and I refuse to participate in it any longer. But we cannot just simply wait for the old bigots to die out. We must vote them out. White women in Mississippi would do best to stop voting against their own self-interest and their family's self-interest. We need white women to get out and vote for decency, for quality public education, for health care, for a living wage, and yes, for a woman's right to choose what to do with her own body. Vote out of love. Refuse to bow down to a patriarchal and racist system. Question everything about what you were taught as a white woman in the South if you are from a conservative family like mine. Realize that in order to move forward as a society, we must respect every single individual in that society. Then wake up and go vote.
Say, go vote.
Somebody's hurting our people. and it's gone on far too long, and we won't